Emotions can be tricky to navigate, can't they? One minute we're feeling fine, and the next we're overwhelmed by anger, sadness, or frustration. Today, I want to talk to you about managing emotions. Because while emotions are a natural part of life, how we handle them is what makes all the difference. Let's start by recognizing that emotions aren't inherently bad. In fact, they give us valuable information about ourselves and the world around us. But sometimes emotions can take control. And before we know it, we're reacting in ways that we might regret later. That is where emotional regulation comes in. It's the ability to manage how you experience and express your emotions, even when they're intense. One of the most effective strategies for managing emotions is simply pausing before reacting. When you feel that wave of emotion hit you, take a deep breath. Give yourself a moment to pause and really check in with what you're feeling. This pause can help to prevent an impulsive reaction and allow you to choose a more thoughtful response. Another great tool is to label your emotions. This may sound really simple and kind of stupid, but putting a name to what you're feeling, whether it's anger, fear, or disappointment, can help you process those emotions more clearly. When you can identify what's going on internally, it's easier to figure out the next steps. I always tell people that we feel our emotions before we know what they are. So recognize when you get a feeling and then think about, okay, why am I feeling this way? Now, something I find incredibly helpful is the practice of reframing your thoughts. Have you ever noticed how sometimes your thoughts can make a situation seem worse than it really is? Yeah. For example, if you're thinking, I always mess up, that's going to fuel more negative emotions. But if you reframe that thought to something like, I'm learning from this challenge, it changes the way that you feel and how you respond. Another important part of emotional regulation is self-compassion. Often, when we're overwhelmed, we're hard on ourselves. Instead of adding to your emotional load with judgment, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Recognize that it is okay to feel what you're feeling and that these emotions are part of the human experience. Finally, I can't stress enough how helpful physical activity can be for managing emotions. When you are physically moving, whether it's through exercise, a walk, stretching, or even dancing, it helps to release the emotional energy that is built up in your body. Physical movement can reduce emotional intensity and bring you back to a more balanced state. A friend of mine, who's also a coach, just did a 5-day dance challenge where everyone was challenged to dance for 10 minutes per day. And it was amazing how different I felt afterwards. So this week, I encourage you to get out and try some of these strategies, whether it's pausing before reacting, labeling your emotions, or simply being kinder to yourself. These are small but powerful ways to gain control over your emotional world. And remember, it's not about avoiding emotions. It's about learning how to work with them in a way that supports your growth and well-being. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you found it helpful, just a quick like or comment is super helpful to me so that I know which pieces of content are landing with you and I can create more content like that. All right, I'll see you soon.